What if I told you there was a family of plants that make great cut flowers that you can use in the house? They're easy to grow. You can have a succession of blooms so you can cut anytime you want, well, within season and within reason. And that this plant comes back year after year. It's perennial. Well, that would be these lilies. I love the fact that these blooms are bicolored. Just take a look at these. These bloomed earlier. Now, when you're thinking about lilies, think about this. What I have first are my Asiatics. They bloom first and they're finishing up here. Then come the LA Hybrids. I just showed you one of those, first crown. And then the next are the Oriental Hybrids to bloom. So you get this succession of bloom, early, mid, and late, which is great. Now, after they bloom, you see I didn't cut these for flower arranging. That is a seed head right there. What you want to do is just cut off your lilies like this and just discard the seed head. And what happens is you want to leave this foliage and bolster that bulb under there for next year's bloom. So that's the great thing about these lilies is they come back year after year. Now when you plant them, you want to make sure you give them plenty of sun. They like full sun, and the soil must drain well. Otherwise the bulbs will rot. So I just wanted to give you an example of lilies in a garden setting. Earlier I was showing you how I had them in rows for cutting for using in the house. But here, they're a part of the landscape. There's something very rewarding about bringing flowers in from the garden and into your home. Flowers that you grew. One of my favorites is this Asiatic Lily. It's because it's so easy to grow. And you get these multiple blooms on a stem. And they come in a wide range of colors. Orange, yellow, pink, white, all colors in between. But there are a few tips you're going to want to keep in mind if you want to use them as a cut flower. When I bring them in, one of the first things I do is I clip out these little anthers. You see, that's where the pollen is produced. And you don't want this pollen to get on your clothes or your fabrics. Another thing I do is I never place the foliage in the water. In other words, you want to make sure that any of the leaves on the stem are above the water level. You see, this keeps bacteria from building up in the water, makes your flowers last longer. I often just strip all of the leaves off, gives the arrangement a sleek and more modern look. The other thing you want to do if you want your flower arrangement to last a long time is to recut the bottom of the stems every day and add fresh water. Your flowers will appreciate it. Next spring, plant some Asiatic lilies in your garden, and when you bring them inside for a beautiful flower arrangement, follow a few of these tips. From the Garden Home, I'm Alan Smith. I want you to meet the pineapple lily. Just look at this, isn't it unique? I just love the shape of this plant. You see, there's the body of the pineapple, and there's that little top or crest of foliage that we see on the fruit itself. What's extraordinary about these blooms is that the flower spikes come up about 18 to 24 inches high. And they're a beautiful plant for contrasting with other plants. As you can see in this bed, I have this little cleome here in the foreground, in the back some grasses, and you can see these are the perfect contrasting flower for this area in the bed. Now, from a cultural standpoint, you need to understand that, well, Eucomis, or pineapple lily, likes well-drained soils. It doesn't like to sit in water. It also loves full sun. As you can see here, they're thriving. Now, another point I want to make about this plant is that they're easily grown in containers, perfect for a small space. And you can also cut them. They're long-lasting cut flowers. I mean, they'll last for weeks if you'll keep the water clean. So if you're looking for a plant that's out of the ordinary, you really ought to give these pineapple lilies a try.